som livet är mitt. Jag har fått en stund här på jorden, och min längtan har fört mig är ändå vägen jag valt. Min förtröstan långt bortom orden, som har visat en liten bit av den himmel jag aldrig nått. Jag vill känna att jag lever all den tid jag har. Ska jag leva som jag vill? Jag vill känna att jag lever, veta att jag räcker
Gentlemen, turn to page 21 of the introduction. Mr. Cameron, read aloud the excellent essay by Dr. Pritchard on understanding poetry.
That page has been ripped out, sir.
Well, borrow somebody else's book.
They're all ripped out, sir.
What do you mean they're all ripped out?
Sir, we...
Never mind. Read.
Understanding Poetry by Dr. J. Evans Pritchard, Ph.D. To fully understand poetry, we must first be fluent with its meter, rhyme, and figures of speech. Then ask two questions. One, how artfully has the objective of the poem been rendered? And two, how important is that objective? Question one rates the poem's perfection. Question two rates its importance. And once these questions have been answered, determining the poem's greatness becomes a relatively simple matter. If the poem score for perfection is plotted on the horizontal of a graph...
Mr. Keating, they made everybody
Quiet, Mr.
sign
Anderson.
it. You gotta believe me, it's true.
I do believe you, Tom.
Leave, Mr. Keating.
But it wasn't his fault.
Sit down, Mr. Anderson. One more outburst from you or anyone else, and you're out of this school. Leave, Mr. Keating. I said leave, Mr. Keating.
Captain, my captain.
Sit down, Mr. Anderson. You hear me? Sit down. Sit down. This is your final warning, Anderson. How dare you? You hear me?
Oh, Captain, my captain.
Mr. Overstreet, I warn you. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. All of you. I want you seated. Sit down. Leave, Mr. Keating. All of you. Down. I want you seated. Do you hear me?
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore, it's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower. You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. 3 is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come 2 more people, then 3 more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made.
That way, okay? Hold it steady. To play, let's say the violin, it looks as though there's one person playing the violin, right? There are 2 people. There's the person who's playing the violin, and then there's another person standing behind the person who's playing the violin, whispering in his ear, "You haven't practiced enough." Do you know how many people play this piece better than you do? That difficult passage, you missed it the last time. It's coming right up. You're going to miss it again. That's the voice in the head. And if anybody's saying, what does he mean, a voice in the head? What's he talking about, a voice in the head? That's the voice I mean. Took a moment for you to hear it, right? But that voice keeps talking and talking and talking, and it never stops. You know, sometimes it talks so loudly that it drowns out the music. So my job is to get hold of that voice. The person who understood this perfectly was Michelangelo, and I'm sure you've heard this beautiful thing, but it bears repeating. Somebody asked Michelangelo about sculpting, and he said, "Oh, sculpting is easy, because you have a piece of marble. Inside the piece of marble is a beautiful statue. All you need is a hammer and a chisel just to get rid of all the stone that's in the way." And then that's actually a theory of education. It's, of course, not the one we use. The one we use, we're up here, the students are down here, and they try to get up and they do their homework and they work hard and they study and they work as hard as they can, and this is as far as they get. This is the gap between their achievement and our standards. And of course they're very manipulative because they know what we want to hear so they can get up a little higher. Michelangelo's model is totally different. It's eye to eye. We each have a hammer and a chisel and we're working to get rid of all that stone that's in the way of that beautiful statue. It's a totally different world. We had a conference of leaders of the music world, you know, heads of orchestras and schools and opera houses and so on, and we had a 3-day conference, and there was a lot of what I call downward spiral speaking. Now, I don't know what the head teacher's downward spirals are, but I'll tell you some of the musical downward spirals. The little old ladies who like classical music, they're all dying, so there's not going to be an audience. The children don't learn instruments anymore. All they do is watch MTV, so they're not going to grow up liking classical music. Right? And the National Endowment of the Arts is not supporting, and the foundations aren't supporting the arts the way they used to, so we're going to run out of funds. By the end of the second day, people were walking around the corridor in the hotel like this. Because, you know, everywhere there's downward spirals. You can't get around. I was looking at the Times this morning, and I thought of bringing it in and showing you how many columns in the Times are downward spirals. It's amazing. Every column is a downward spiral. Of course, the stock market, that's a downward spiral. Downward spiral. Also upward spiral. Upward spiral and downward spiral are actually the same thing. Because wherever you have a winner and a loser, you automatically have a downward spiral. So, of course, sports is full of downward spiral, but it doesn't matter in sports because we all go out for a beer afterwards. But our educational system is based on a downward spiral because there's nowhere to go from an A but down. So we shouldn't be surprised if our kids look anxious. Sometimes it seems as though there's nothing but downward spiral, which of course isn't true, which is why I asked for another flip chart. Now over here we have possibility, the world of possibility, the realm of possibility, and this is where the vision is. And vision is very important. Vision is really important because, you know, people get confused about vision. They say, oh, so our vision is to be number one. No, that's a goal. Vision, to be a vision, has to be for everybody. Everybody. If the eyes are shining, you know you're doing it. If the eyes are not shining, you get to ask a question. Who am I being that my player's eyes are not shining? We can do that with our children too. Who am I being that my children's eyes are not shining? Now over here we have goals. Have you noticed how goals tend to be rather grim? We have a goal. It's a rather grim pursuit. We have to make the goal. Now over here you can have a goal as part of the vision. By all means, you have a goal, and if you make the goal, great, and if you don't, how fascinating! Because, you know, we all know why we have goals. Why do we have goals? To make our eyes shine, that's all. That's the reason we have a goal. So if the goal posts are too close together, you can't score. If they're too far apart, it's too easy. So if it's not working, the eyes aren't shining, move the goalposts. You know, that's the thing. Now, over here you have the words you should, you ought, you need, and you must. Try those out on your children and see if their eyes shine. Over here we have things like, how about, what if, what are we looking for? What's next? Over here you see totally different language, totally different. Now over here you have blame and fault and threat. And over here, requests and apologies, totally different. This is where we put people down and also put people up. Over here, everybody gets an A. It's a totally different world.
My arcade is called Caine's Arcade. It's open on weekends only, and it's really cheap.
I met Caine randomly. I had to get a door handle for my '96 Corolla, so I pulled into this used auto parts store, and I just came across this elaborate cardboard arcade. I asked him how much it was to play. He's like, for $1 you get 4 turns. But for $2, you get a fun pass. Like, well, how many turns do you get a fun pass? You get 500 turns for a fun pass. I got a fun pass.
A great deal. Then I started making my office. It has like a speaker on the other side I could talk through. I got tokens, my business card, fun passes, and prizes. First prizes, I use my own toys, like the cars with my own toys.
He bought calculators to put on every arcade game. And I go, what's that for?
The calculator's right here for security to see if it's a real fun pass or not. On the back, the fun pass has security number. So when you go here, you turn it on, you put the pin number in it, and you push a check mark button, and the big number comes out. That's how you know it's a real fun pass.
Well, one day, my secretary comes running into the office. George, you never believe it. Somebody's playing Caine's Arcade. And I go, no way. So I was looking through the security camera, watching them.
And I'm playing like miniature soccer, miniature basketball. And then when you'd score a point, he would crawl into the box and he pulls out these little tickets out of the side of the cardboard.
Like real arcade games, tickets come from the bottom.
And I was like, this kid's a genius. Then I made a little Facebook event, which a friend posted on Hidden LA, which has over 230,000 fans. And all of a sudden, it just started going net.
I started reading the comments. I wish I could be there. I live in New York. I wish I could be there. I live in Europe. And I'm going, wow, it was getting big. The plan is, I'm going to take Caine to Shakey's Pizza. We're going to play some arcade games. We're going to eat lunch while Nirvana sets up a big surprise party.
Hey, you're ready. In about a minute, he's gonna arrive here.
Hey, Caine, can we go home early today? We had no customers today.
No.
No? Come on. Your dad's tired.
No can do.
No can do. We're back, Caine. Wow. What's going on over here? Huh? We finally got some customers here.
Okay. All right, everybody, this is Caine. Hi, Caine. Caine, this is everybody. All these people came here to play your arcade. Did you know they were coming?
No.
Are you ready to run your arcade?
Yeah.
All right, what'd you guys come here to do?
We came to play!
Go ahead, welcome to Caine's Arcade, man.
Well, the C could be for cardboard and the A could be for arcade. But the A could also be for auto parts, cause it's pop shops where it's made. And the I's gotta be for imagination, of which the kids got a lot. And the N ought to be for noggin, where the idea first got thought. But then the E.
Oh yes, the E.
Oh yes, the E.
Oh yes, the E.
Well, the E's gotta be for everybody.
That's you and me.
Cause everybody's who's invited to come on down and play. If you got the pluck to try your luck, come on down to Caine's Arcade. Oh, Caine's Arcade.
Caine's Arcade.
Oh, Caine's Arcade.
Caine's Arcade.
It's the best cardboard arcade ever been made.
Ever made.
Grab yourself a fun pass and y'all come on down and play. If you got the pluck to try your luck, get on down to Caine's